Today we explore the heavy, invisible burdens of modern life and how to finally let them go. Meet David, a dedicated young professional who works incredibly hard every single day but constantly feels completely exhausted and left behind others. Despite his relentless efforts and countless late nights at the office, a deep sense of overwhelming fatigue overshadows his everyday waking moments. He watches his peers seemingly glide through their successful careers, while he struggles just to keep his head above the rising water. This profound exhaustion is not just physical tiredness from lack of sleep. It is a heavy emotional anchor dragging his spirit downward. Desperate for a brief escape from the suffocating city noise, David decides to take a long, solitary walk into the quiet countryside. The bright summer sun beats down intensely on the golden fields, radiating a brilliant warmth that fills the entire peaceful rural landscape. Along the dusty dirt path, he spots an old, wise farmer named Samuel, who is tending to his thriving green vegetable garden. Samuel pauses his hard labor, leans comfortably on his wooden rake, and observes the weary young man approaching with a gentle smile. David stops to rest near the wooden fence, wiping thick beads of hot sweat from his deeply troubled and exhausted, pale forehead. The perceptive old farmer chuckles softly and offers David a refreshing cup of cool water from his vintage metal thermos nearby immediately. As David eagerly drinks the cold water, Samuel points a weathered finger directly at the strange, thick garment covering the boy's shoulders. "You look incredibly tired, my friend," Samuel says calmly. "But why are you wearing a heavy winter coat in this blazing summer?" David looks down in sudden shock, suddenly realizing that he is indeed wearing a massive, thick wool coat, despite the intense heat. He had worn this heavy coat for so many long years that he completely forgot it was even resting on his back. This heavy winter coat is a powerful metaphor for the invisible mental burdens we unconsciously carry through our fast-paced, modern lives. True exhaustion does not merely stem from endless tasks or busy schedules. It usually comes from these hidden emotional weights we hold. Samuel gently explains that the first heavy pocket of this coat is filled entirely with the painful memories of our past mistakes. We often drag old failures along with us, letting past guilt continuously drain our precious daily energy and cloud our future vision. Every time David failed a project, he placed another heavy stone of regret straight into the deep pockets of his winter coat. The second massive pocket contains our fragile ego and the stubborn desire to always be right in every single argument we face. Defending our personal opinions constantly consumes a massive amount of mental strength, leaving us feeling completely depleted and isolated from true friends. David remembers arguing fiercely with colleagues just to protect his pride, wasting valuable energy instead of learning from their diverse, unique perspectives. The farmer points to the third pocket, which holds the bitter resentment we harbor about things entirely outside our own personal control. Being angry at the unpredictable weather or envying someone else's sudden success is like drinking poison and expecting the other person affected. David realizes he spent countless hours feeling bitter about his delayed promotions, adding more suffocating weight to his already unbearable winter coat. "So how do I take it off?" David asks desperately, feeling the crushing gravity of these invisible burdens on his tired shoulders. Samuel smiles warmly and explains that you cannot simply destroy the coat forever, because these complex emotions are part of being human. However, you can make a conscious choice every single morning to temporarily put down one specific burden for that particular entire day. The wise farmer proposes a very simple daily exercise to help David slowly reclaim his lost energy and inner peace of mind. Tomorrow morning, when you first wake up, sit quietly on your bed and identify one unnecessary emotional weight you are currently carrying. Speak its name aloud clearly, whether it is a lingering regret, a stubborn pride, or a deep resentment toward a specific coworker. Then, tell yourself firmly that you will leave this specific burden resting on the nightstand just for today, allowing yourself to breathe. You do not have to forgive everything immediately. You just need to give your exhausted soul a much-needed, short, daily break. David listens intently, realizing how profoundly simple yet incredibly challenging this daily practice of intentional emotional release might actually be for him. The farmer gently pats David on the shoulder, his wise eyes shining with a deep, compassionate understanding of human pain and struggle. As the golden afternoon sun begins to set, David thanks the kind old man and starts his long, peaceful walk back home. That night, David lies in his comfortable bed, staring thoughtfully at the dark ceiling, contemplating the heavy, invisible coat he always wears. The next morning, bright, early sunlight streams through his bedroom window, signaling the start of a brand new day and fresh opportunities. David sits up slowly, takes a deep, cleansing breath, and looks directly at the small wooden nightstand beside his messy, unmade bed. Today, I am putting down my bitter resentment toward my manager for overlooking my recent project proposal, he says clearly and firmly. He visualizes taking a heavy, dark stone out of his thick winter coat and carefully placing it right onto the wooden table. Instantly, a subtle yet profound sense of glorious relief washes over his entire body, making his tense shoulders drop down very slightly. As he steps outside into the bustling city streets, the morning air suddenly feels crisper, lighter, and remarkably more refreshing than before. At work, when faced with a frustrating minor delay, David simply smiles calmly instead of reacting with his usual intense, fiery anger. He remembers that he intentionally left his heavy burden of resentment safely at home, freeing his mind to easily solve the problem. By letting go of just one negative emotion, he preserved a massive amount of valuable mental energy for highly productive, creative tasks. The next day, he decides to unload his lingering guilt over a failed relationship that ended badly several long, painful years ago. He visualizes pulling a sharp, thorny branch from his coat pocket and gently placing it down onto his small, wooden bedroom table. Without that sharp guilt constantly poking his tender heart, he finds himself laughing genuinely with his close friends during their lunch break. Day by day, this consistent morning ritual transforms David from a chronically exhausted worker into a vibrant, highly focused, and joyful person. He realizes that the heavy coat of burdens never truly vanishes, but he now has the incredible power to take it off. We all wear similar heavy winter coats constructed entirely from our own secret fears, past mistakes, stubborn pride, and deep, unspoken resentments. These hidden weights silently drain our energy, making our daily journey feel like a grueling marathon run through thick and sticky mud. You may wonder why you feel so incredibly tired even after sleeping for 8 full hours in a very comfortable, soft bed. The answer usually lies inside those heavy, invisible pockets you carry around everywhere without ever stopping to question their actual, true necessity. Imagine how much faster you could confidently run toward your biggest dreams if you simply dropped those heavy stones along the way. We desperately cling to our defensive ego because it makes us feel falsely safe, but it actually builds a prison around us. We hold tightly onto old resentments, secretly hoping they will punish our enemies, while they only slowly suffocate our own precious happiness. We replay our past mistakes endlessly, believing this painful mental torture will somehow miraculously prevent us from failing again in the future. But true psychological growth only happens when we bravely acknowledge our heavy burdens and consciously choose to gently set them down daily. You do not need a grand spiritual awakening to start feeling better. You just need a brief moment of total, honest awareness. Try this profound exercise yourself tomorrow morning before you rush out the front door to face the chaotic demands of the world. Name one specific thing that is currently draining your spirit, whether it is an anxious thought, a bitter memory, or stubborn pride. Say out loud that you are leaving it behind just for today, granting yourself full permission to walk freely without its weight. Notice how your physical posture naturally straightens, how your tight chest visibly expands, and how your breathing becomes significantly deeper and calmer. This newly freed energy can now be beautifully redirected toward your true passions, building meaningful relationships and enjoying life's simple, quiet moments. Life is already hard enough without us voluntarily carrying unnecessary emotional baggage into every single new challenge and opportunity that we encounter. Just like David, you hold the ultimate key to unlocking your own internal prison and stepping out into the warm, bright sunshine. The wise old farmer's timeless advice reminds us that true strength is not about carrying more weight, but knowing what to drop. Practice this mindful art of letting go consistently, and you will slowly discover a profound inner peace that nobody can ever disrupt. Every beautiful sunrise offers you a brand new, magnificent chance to leave your heavy winter coat behind and embrace the joyful warmth. Take a deep breath right now. Acknowledge the invisible burdens resting heavily on your tired shoulders and consciously decide to release them. You absolutely deserve to travel through this wonderful journey of life feeling entirely light, immensely joyful, and completely free from past shadows. Thank you so much for watching Daily Spark Joy today. Please subscribe for more inspiring stories, and remember to travel light always.